Welcome back. Welcome back. Sorry it's been so long. We had stuff going on.
What's
Joining
good?
me today is Tay, and Dre. One
How we
second to
doing, y'all?
pause.
How we doing?
Doing good, doing good. All right, guys. Today we got a quick update on the NBA playoffs. Let me just pull up the right screen here. Let's share it. And here we go. We're going to dive right into it. We're not going to waste any time because Jason Tatum is currently on his way to the locker room in a wheelchair. Looked like he suffered a pretty serious ankle injury. And
Oh no.
if I'm not, if, if he's not good by next game, I think New York moves on and we can possibly get into that a little bit later. But as of right now, it's not looking too good for the reigning champs. They look like they're going to go down 3-1.
And Joe didn't mention, but the real reason we haven't been on is because the Lakers lost.
Yeah, dude, I had to take a couple of. We're not going to talk about that series. That fucking. I had to take a couple of days off for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess let's just get right into it, guys. Let's start with maybe like your. I'll start with my biggest disappointment. It's obviously the Lakers. I mean, you can't plan for Luka getting sick in Game 3. LeBron tried his best to get 38. He had 38 that game, and then just to close out Game 5, it wasn't pretty. I remember watching that start the game. They just lacked energy. This wasn't something. It looked like they were ready to check out. Good news is Luka's playing for his national team this summer, so maybe he could get into shape. We can talk more about that during the offseason. But yeah, that's my wrap up of that series. Obviously, lack of center really hurt them. Rudy Gobert looked obviously unbelievable. And I'm really upset about fucking Julius Randle. Historic playoff loser. All of a sudden decides to have his career playoff best. He's shooting like 40% from three. And it was just... it was very tough to watch. Okay, when Anthony Edwards gives you like one for 11 in Game 5, like that's the thing is the Timberwolves only had one really good game shooting. The Lakers just didn't fucking come to play. All right, I was tired, but now I'm awake. And you know what? My bad, I didn't silence my phone for this broadcast. But somebody said I got a text from the buddy torn Achilles for Tatum. That's bad juju there, Mr. Harrison. Don't be sending those.
Is that real? Like,
no. That's
okay.
just bad juju.
Don't you put that on me, Rick.
And the same person that texted me is he's a Thunder fan, and I told him, dude, I'm rooting for the Thunder now because in my dark timeline they just trade Chet and maybe
Giannis?
6 first rounds to get Giannis.
Yeah. Kind of go back real quick on the Lakers.
Yeah,
one thing
go ahead.
I wanted to add. Yeah, one thing I want to add too was, I think it showed JJ's like, kind of first year coaching. Like he put a lot of minutes on those guys too, and like I think that really showed. During the NBA playoffs, 7 games, right? Like it's a constant grind, and it's a marathon. So, I would like to see him go back and kind of adjust those minutes, especially with LeBron being the age that he is. Yes, he's a superstar, but that age, that caliber, you need some rest. I think it was absurd. I can't remember the exact minutes, but I think they were almost pushing
no,
what was it, like 40?
Game 4 they played the
whole half, right?
entire second. Yeah, they were playing pretty heavy minutes, and then obviously LeBron got that knee injury. I believe it was Game 5. So it's a long off season. I mean, it was nice to get punched in the gut. You know what I mean? Like
hopefully bring some fire.
They can do some shit with what they got.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dre? What are your thoughts on that series? And then we'll wrap it up and move on to another one.
I mean, I was just utterly shocked. I mean, it does make sense from a standpoint of like the Gobert and Randall combo compared to what do the Lakers have down there at all, So I get that. And then the Timberwolves don't go nowhere with that combo if they don't have a superstar in Anthony Edwards as well. But still, I just like 4-1. I'm not even talking shit. I just don't understand it. Like I was Lakers all the way myself. We can go back 6-7 different pods ago.
All of us, yeah.
So I'm not talking no crap. I just like it was quite confusing to me. Like I get the Timberwolves are good. They're not.
We lost him.
They're not that good.
No, and that's the thing though is so the bench just didn't show up, and I think that's going to be something that they have to address in this offseason. I really think, and not too much on the Lakers. We can talk about this during the dog days of summer, but let's bring Tay back to the stage. I really do think they have to really sit down and think about, like, is this pairing of Austin and Luka going to be good post LeBron? You know, like they can't defend a freaking like what Pat Bev said, a traffic cone or whatever. You know, like it's not good.
Luka's
So
defense was horrible, dude.
they're not going to trade Luka, so they might look into explore trading like Austin. That's not something that I'm looking forward to. But hey, then there's a couple of names I want to float around to you guys. All right.
Go ahead.
DeAndre Ayton.
I hate DeAndre.
For Austin Reeves, no.
No.
Reeves, no.
He's making $35 million. You'd have to stack up. We're talking like Rui, Gabe, Maxi Kleba, and like a pick or something. And then because Ayton's on an expiring, and no one's going to pay him $35 million next year because he's not. Obviously, he's like, the thing with Ayton is the knock on him is he lacks like motor, right? He doesn't bring it every night, but he gives you 10 rebounds, right? So, or I really realistically, I want them to explore maybe Daniel Gafford, but I think if I'm Nico Harrison, I probably have the Lakers phone number blocked by now. I don't know.
Not even. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we will get into that. All right, let's move on to let's just keep it to the series in the first round, the ones that were at least competitive, like that Miami Cleveland series. No. Grizzlies Thunder. No. This one's interesting.
Oh, can I just speak on my notes I had on this real quick?
Yeah.
Just before we move into series by series, when I was looking through it, watching some of the games here and there, what I noticed, ISO, clear out. No, nothing crazy. But the first round of the West, it was competitive. There was some parity. For the East, complete opposite. The better team just pretty much showed out 4-1, 4-0. And yeah, that was pretty much it. No. Oh, okay. I don't need to be ISO'd. But the other thing I noticed, was the young teams. Like and I don't even have to look at my phone for this. The Rockets, the Magic, the Pistons. Like these teams are on the up and up. They're the next. They're the next Thunder per se, potentially. Like if they continue to build and have the right, coach in place, GM in place, all of that. So good on them. But you can see how they're still too young. They maybe don't have the depth, the bench. They have their superstar in place right now. But yeah, that was the other thing I noticed as well. None of them made it past the first round, but they're good.
Well, yeah, that and we can kind of let's get into that actually right now. The Warriors and the Rockets, that was a fun series, a really tough series. I think the Rockets have to really sit down and also be like, yo, do we do Jalen Green and Jabari Smith and maybe a couple first and try to go with Giannis, or throw Sengun in there? You don't give up Amin Thompson though. I think he's a monster. The Warriors. Yeah. The Warriors, they did it cool. But it doesn't really affect how, I don't know. It's hard to not consider where they're at now, looking back at the series. Like that series was a dogfight and they're paying for it now. You see it with the injuries.
Yeah, I think that goes to blessing the curse of having vets on the team, right? One is like they know how to get through the playoffs and what to look out for and really stay strong in the crunch time. But on the opposite side, they're going to be older, right? So it comes down to that balance. How do you take care of the body, but also keep the mind strong to get through the playoffs on that mental side. So it was interesting to see them kind of outplay the Rockets. Steph really, I think in that series with the Rockets, he came through and he played like the old Steph. Not more so, of course, with Timberwolves. I think he's been out one game, 2 games, with injury, and you could see that's starting to affect them. But man, you got to tip your hat to Jimmy Buckets too, man. That dude's just a dog. Playoff Jimmy's different, so it will be interesting. And I'm actually, it's sad to say, but I'm rooting for the Warriors. Put a little bet in, so for them to win the finals, they had like the craziest odds. So I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for them this year, which sounds weird, but
Yeah, maybe if Steve Kerr decides to play Jonathan Kuminga, I don't know.
yeah,
I
that's
don't know what the
weird. Why
fuck's going on with
doesn't
that.
he? Why
I don't
doesn't
know,
he?
but last game boosted his trade value. That's for sure. It's just so weird how he. It seems like every time they go into a game, every time, and it's just kind of just like, all right, everybody stay ready because you're in Quentin Post, you're getting minutes tonight. Oh no, Kuminga, we need you to come get some minutes. And then they got Santos coming off the bench as well. And then Pods needs to start playing well. Like they're and they just do it. I don't know. It's good. Is it good coaching? A lot of Warriors fans don't really like Steve Kerr too much, but I just have an issue with him not playing Kuminga. Like when you watch them play, they look like, okay, what do they need? Somebody that's just athletic and fast and can score. Oh
Kuminga's
shit, we
filthy.
have Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know.
And he
Maybe
was
he
like,
gets more minutes now because
Well,
I was just gonna say he's supposed to be like that guy too, right? Like,
yeah, I think
his
they just
first,
given up
second
on
year.
him, and it's probably they've done it in the past where like he'll play for spurts and then go straight to the bench, and it's like probably that wears on him over time. It's just like, yo, what can I do to get consistent minutes? But he also is the type of player where he goes out there and he'll play against like SGA. And like, all right, I'm as good as this guy. Like it's a weird balance with him, but he shows spurts. So I just don't know why they haven't really fully committed to him.
Yeah.
I was just saying, I don't follow his game like that, but like, is it possibly that like he has to have the ball in his hands, like to be doing something, and then he's gonna ruin the offense, with Jimmy or Steph right now in the playoffs?
I don't think so. I think he's a great key addition and a role player out there. So I don't know. I honestly don't see a reason why. The only reason I could maybe think why is maybe he fits more of like you were saying, Joe, like he plays against the SGAs, like he's more of a fast break player, like very athletic, get the ball, run down the floor, opposed to like where the Warriors are now with the slow down, pick and roll kind of game. Like maybe that's why, but I don't know. I think you could plug and play the guy really anywhere. So it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, he would average about 20 points on Charlotte. All right, like that.
Yeah.
Like, he does the thing with him too is like now it's kind of like, okay, the Warriors are in like win now mode, so look for them I probably end up trying to trade him again this offseason. And then just let's close out the first round. Any of these other series you guys would want to talk? Oh, I want to talk about the Nuggets Clippers.
Yes.
Yeah. Zubac, round of applause, dude. You did a hell of a job on Jokic.
Yeah, they were locking them up.
Zubac is a monster.
But I think they still lost that game, right? Or
no, the Clippers ended up losing because once it went to 7, I don't know why we didn't think like.
Oh, sorry, we're backing up first round.
Yeah,
round.
First. I just want to talk about the Clippers and maybe is it time to blow it up? I think you maybe you just got to figure out what Kawhi's doing, and are you even going to get the same like another Kawhi season like this? It's just super hard to judge with him. And then James, when it went to 7 games, I don't know why I even thought because I picked the Clippers to win this series. I just thought that they were playing really well, and I thought that their defense was actually like real. But it went to 7 games. I should have just James Harden, notorious like MIA during game 7s. Probably one of the worst. I could even try to pull up the stats, but he is probably one of the worst game 7 playoff performers of all time. What do you guys think about that series?
It just makes me sad. Like, I personally want to love Kawhi. Like, I want to look at Kawhi like we do, like the LeBrons. Like he really has that caliber. But man, like guys either hurt or he just can't get past that second round. Like, I know the guy has 2 rings, but like, man, you see the greatness there, shows shimmers of it, but just can't get it done sometimes. So it's kind of just disheartening. But that's my take. What do you think, Dre?
Well, I was gonna say I feel the same damn way about Paul George.
Yeah.
I feel Paul. I don't know. I just they're the same to me. Both of them could have just been absolute mega stars in this
What
game,
ifs?
and what they've done over the last 5 years is just disheartening.
Sad.
Yeah, I mean they're still great players. It's just like I don't know.
They're not that LeBron level, like Kobe, you know, like
what they showed real early. Yeah, what they could have been like. And yeah, it's not like they like ended up just becoming role players on teams and second fiddles or nothing. They're still superstars in their own right. It's just they're either hurt, they're playing on a team that's filled with good people and not making the playoffs. Like Kevin Durant, like I said, that's how I feel about the man too. He falls in the same damn category.
Yeah,
but he did it for a little longer, in my opinion. So I mean, he could still have accolades and Hall of Fame status and all of that, and it wouldn't bother me none. But
like it's almost getting close to say that, and it's crazy to think, but Jokic might be
Giannis has
a
fallen in
better
his
player. Yeah,
same category too.
Jokic might be a better player than those guys we just listed. Aside from Giannis, I think Giannis is he's still up there.
And I'll be honest with you, if we're having to compare these guys to Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, and so forth, and then of course there's the older guys and Bill Russell's with all the championships and yada yada yada. But if we're having to compare them to those guys and it's too big of a feat, and that's why like we're being so hard on them, well, isn't that what they're trying to live up to? Isn't that what they're trying to be? So like,
yeah,
we're not being too hard.
Nice, dude. Sprinkle a whole lot of hate in there, huh?
Man, we just want to see greatness.
No, yeah. Kawhi. I think Kawhi. Yeah, Kawhi.
How old is Kawhi?
He's.
I mean, like what we're alluding
when he's on, when he was playing, he was on the same trajectory as like. I'd say he'd be top 75 if he stayed completely healthy. Yeah. And he's a Hall of Famer already
top
as well.
10.
Kevin, top 15.
Like what's gross to me
Kevin
is
Durant is a Hall of Famer too.
If we get the same level of play
than them though, by the way, not Kevin Durant, but Jokic is the most. He's ridiculous.
Jokic, man. That's what I'm saying.
Not better than LeBron.
No. But he's almost better than those 3 we listed. Like
yeah,
KD,
I agree.
like yeah, Kawhi. Like he's almost better.
But he's not doing too good in this series.
Yeah,
quick
they
pivot.
locked him up.
Pivot up.
That's what I was saying.
What do you guys think the recipe for success has been for OKC during this year? I mean, it's 2-2, but we have some late game heroics from Aaron Gordon, and what do you guys think OKC is doing right against the Joker?
You said it just you stole it out of my mouth, Joe. Was Aaron Gordon, dude? Like that guy's playing his heart out.
Yeah,
like he hit that buzzer beater. Like what was it, the first game? And then
it was the first game. Jokic had 42-22 or some shit. I'm like, yo.
And then I think they came back. They won the second game again by like but OKC was blowing them out. Then second game they just came back, took it. And then was that
no, second game OKC ran them out 149-106, and then they won an OT in
that's what that was, the OT.
So that one's gonna be tomorrow. Yeah, I agree. Michael Porter Jr. is playing with one arm out there.
I seen that.
How could you not root for Aaron Gordon though? The dude lost his brother and moved his brother's kids out with him in Denver. He's like shooting career high in 3-point percentages. Had a couple game winners already in the playoffs. I like him.
If you go to game 4, I think is that the game where they held Jokic low.
Where's the box score?
One game they right there. One game they guarded Jokic pretty well, and I think they need to keep that recipe.
Chet. No, it's Hartenstein and freaking
Luganese.
No, and Looney plays for the fucking Warriors, dude. Hartenstein
said-
and Holmgren's.
I said
Chet.
Luganese, Dort.
Oh, no. He guards like what's his name? Jamal Murray.
Porter.
Yeah.
Porter Jr.
Dort's nice
like I
though.
said.
I like Dort. He's a
Yeah,
good perimeter D.
7-22. He is shooting like terribly. He's shooting like
But then
30% from the series.
But then look at his points. It's just like shit. Like he could have a
Because of
game
the
like
free
that.
throws, yeah.
Yeah, he could have a game like that and still score like 27 is nuts, bro.
13. He needs to get more involved. Like that's the thing though, is Porter's 1 of 7. How many of those those field goals do you think would have been assists for Jokic? You know, like this
Very
probably
true.
could have easily been 8 assists off of Porter having 2 shoulders, you know?
Very true.
Like Aaron Gordon, 5 of 10. Can't. And where's Russ? This is always the X factor, dude. And it goes back to what I've fucking been saying. He's playing great, but I'm telling you, when he
plays bad, it's bad.
There was no this game specifically. He airballs a 3-pointer, and then the Thunder just go on like a 6-0, 7-0 run, and it's just like it just kills all momentum. And it's just like I don't know, not great.
Well,
I wouldn't mind seeing Peyton
like
Watson more minutes, huh?
Looks like they only have a 6-man unit technically.
They do, yeah. You tell me who you're playing off this. No, like I mean Peyton Watson, he's decent, not decent, but he can give you minutes. He's not gonna do much, but I just think that they don't win tomorrow. The series is over.
Yeah, we could say that.
If they can steal one again in OKC, Jokic is just playing unbelievable, and I think I just think they're playing him really good. Like I think the combination with 2 7-footers out there is bumping him, being extra physical, and Chet's playing really good defense without fouling.
Yeah,
you know, you like it's the same thing. And in the playoffs, it's a little bit more physical. You look at SGA, his free throw numbers are down. They're not really blowing the whistle on his little pump fakes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just think that that's how the playoffs should be. And I think the players just need to adapt to that, right? Because I'm not a fan of the refs adapting to the whistle. That's how we get regular season kind of thing. I don't know. Like I like to let them play, but when maybe into like the last 2 minutes, then you gotta start calling it like a little more tight if it's in a close game. Like call it like first quarter, second. Like you let the players kind of dictate the energy of the game, but step in if need be. Like step in if you know, obviously, okay, you guys are getting a little bit too chirpy. Let's just, hey guys, stop, blah blah blah. But I'm not a fan of like teeing them up or whatever.
One thing I'm noticing too, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's been a couple games where it's been close and SGA's had the ball and he could just not get the ball in the bucket at all. And it actually showed like he's a human being, you know, because like
it goes back to show that teams said that they're not afraid of this OKC team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, so speaking on that, like what I another little thing I had noticed too, and it's just I always ask these questions that, you know, maybe there's not an answer to, but it's just so confusing to me that so the Nuggets take the, you know, supposedly a good Clippers team to Game 7, win that series. Now they're tied 2-2 with the Thunder. Yeah. The Grizzlies didn't win a game against the Thunder. And I mean, maybe sometimes it's just matchups based, you know, and all that, but the Grizzlies have a good little team. And
no, they don't.
Okay, well, to not be able to take a game.
Well, they were close in the game, and then Ja got hurt.
Oh, okay.
Ja got hurt early, so
yeah,
that kind of really killed all the momentum.
And he was playing with a bad ankle, right? Like the whole time. Yeah.
But I agree with what you're saying, right? Like you're playing against a Nuggets team that's won a championship together with that core, and it's like. So they kind of like it's like playing against the AAU team that's been playing together for like 4 years. You just bring in Russ, and then when you really have to lock it down, you still have that combo of Porter, Murray, Gordon, Jokic, and Braun. Like Braun's been impressive this year, right? He's 15-point per game scorer, and he's had some good moments in these playoffs, but it's just tough when you go against OKC and they're known for their defense, and if that's one thing that one of these teams has is in the playoffs. Like I don't really know who, like nobody really has an identity, but OKC does have an identity with their defense. Like that's the only team I've watched in the playoffs that like look at Boston, bro. Their identity is just jacking threes and or whatever. It's not not recipes for success. OKC though, what they've been able to do with Jokic kind of has me feeling like, all right, if they can get past them, then that they're gonna have an easy time doing that with Anthony Edwards, assuming that they make it past the Warriors.
Yeah.
Do you guys also, question for you guys, does this also show that coaches aren't as impactful as they may have used to be? With the Nuggets coach getting ditched before the playoffs and them having this success? What do you guys think on that?
Well, you could kind of say the same thing with the Grizzlies fired their coach and they just
Yeah.
got swept.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got people like Dre thinking they have a good team. You know?
No, I didn't. I mean, I'm not saying like I like them. They have a great team, but they have a decent unit. They have 4 or 5 guys.
It's not going to stay together this offseason, though.
I mean, and then like stay up top though there and look out east. So I mean, Heat aren't nothing special, right? But maybe on the same caliber as the Grizzlies or less. Who knows? Cavs sweep them, and then Indy's out here playing their behinds off. They got a little amped up from that Bucks series.
Halliburton's dad, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're 3-1 right now. Like it just makes the pair.
No, Indy's the real deal, by the way. Like they're fun to watch too. That team plays together and they play hard and they play fast. And Halliburton is a freaking monster, but he gets hate. I get why he gets hate, okay? But that team plays together and they like to talk shit and they're fun to watch, And I think what they're doing to Cleveland is they might have broke Cleveland. Like you look at that series and you look what they've been more physical. Halliburton's hitting some tough shots at a buzzer beater off a missed free throw. Just a lot of like mental errors for Cleveland, and eventually you break when you just get run up and down the field or court, not field. Mathurin punched Hunter in the stomach, and Hunter, well, he thought he was going to get away with it, Mathurin, but Hunter ended up pushing him, and the Mathurin got tossed. But it's just like the Pacers, they're click, and they've been here before, right? Like, I know everybody's
multiple
like,
times.
The East is weak, but they were literally in the Eastern Conference Finals, I believe, last year or something, not 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So.
Also, too, like
yeah, they're
Cleveland was like a top 5 defensive team this year too. So for the Pacers to be able to go out and do that to them, like, yeah, that just shows like that they are on that different caliber.
That's another thing on Cleveland too, though. They were really good up until around the All-Star breaks, and then after the All-Star break, I remember they had a losing streak of like 4 games at one time, and then they just started their defense really stopped their identity. Right, that's a key word for this playoffs. Their identity used to be defense, and now it's like you're playing against the Pacers team who's playing Jared Allen off the floor. And you would think with the addition of Hunter that they would be able to play Mobley, Hunter, Garland, Mitchell, and then who would be there? Like
Allen.
But they're playing Allen off the floor. The Pacers are because of how fast they are, and Miles Turner's hitting threes. Like there's Jared Allen isn't really.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And Cavs have been injured, so let's put that into play too. Let's be a little fair. Darius Garland, I think 2 games he was hurt.
Yeah.
And then Mobley, I think one game
Mobley,
it was like
Hunter.
him, Mobley, and Hunter. Yeah, all out.
Yep.
And Mitchell missed last game.
And then Dame got hurt in round 1. So like, is this year's Celtics?
They're just getting lucky.
Maybe.
And then they might see the Knicks if they do make it to the next thing. So like,
I can't wait to talk about that.
That's a toss-up series at that point. Like,
yeah. Let's just move on to that one, man. Because
Knicks are one of my favorite teams. Like Knicks is one of my favorite teams.
They're so good, dude.
Oh, fuck.
They're not okay. They're
entertaining.
Built so good. Like their team is just like, all right, this is ideal 2025 basketball. You have a point guard and just a bunch of fucking wings in the stretch 5. Like OG is playing his ass off. He's really, his defense is so impressive. I don't think, obviously pre-injury, and at the time of recording, the game ended about 20 minutes ago. Jason Tatum got hurt. We are still waiting to hear what the injury is, but prior to the injury, I was thinking that he can't even get past OG. Like OG was playing such great defense on him, and then Mitchell Robinson coming in to when Cat goes to the bench to kind of give him a little bit more rebounding as well. Like I really am impressed with the Knicks. Brunson's a dog. I remember having a conversation with Dre, and he was saying that Brunson wasn't even that good.
No, Dre said that on live, and I never forget. And I was I was like, So I wanted to ask Dre that question. How do you feel now, brother? Same kind of lens?
I don't like him.
Oh my god.
Like he's just like
How?
okay. You like my honest opinion. He's
Hold on. Call it.
Ooh.
No, there's nothing. He's good, right? All right, he's all right, but I don't like him. He's not small enough to where it's like, oh, look what he's doing. Oh, like Nate Robb, Isaiah Thomas, so forth. Not just because they're from Washington, And then I like a a D Rose. Russell was 6'3", 6'5", point guard with uber athleticism, can also knock down the three ball. Like, I respect that Jalen Brunson's out here doing it. Good for him. Good for the Knicks. But he's a LA Fitness hooper, in my opinion.
That's fucking insane,
Don't do
dude.
that, Dre.
That like his
What are you
build
even
is
talking about?
I'm just like that.
Do you even watch him?
Nothing intriguing to me.
Bro,
He's
about
the
his
most
game.
clutch player, bro, ever.
Well,
most clutch.
So I say good
to
for him.
start.
him and Jokic. All right, Jokic is up
Yeah.
there too. Jokic is up. I'm just saying.
Go
Jokic.
ahead, Joe.
Their
Go
team
ahead,
might
Joe.
be built off pure chemistry. Like, I mean, I think people might be forgetting that Mikal Bridges
Villanova.
is there.
Villanova.
Not but a year or two ago when the big trade was made and he went over to Brooklyn, he was supposed to, rise into a superstar over in Brooklyn. He didn't do that, obviously, per se, but still a
They gave,
good
5
player.
picks for him. Yeah, that's
And
Well,
now
they
he's
have
just
the big three
on the
from.
Knicks.
They have the big three from Nova, right? Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and then remind me of the third fella.
Josh Hart.
Yeah, and Josh Hart
They had
too.
They traded
DiVincenzo,
DiVincenzo for Cat though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Cat's been all right. But I just think that your Jalen Brunson take is absolutely insane.
It's nuts.
Like who
I
would
just
you?
don't like him.
Okay, no, that's fine. Like I would like to know who you would have ranked above him.
As a point guard.
That's a good question.
Like, and I understand
you can
do like
point guard.
SGA. He is a point guard. You can do like SGA, Luca, whatever.
Well,
like I
that's
understand
fair.
that.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like, do you? I guess let me throw him out. Do you have him ranked higher than Trae Young?
No.
That's crazy, bro. What about Drew Holiday?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Darius Garland?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna put disrespect on his game.
You just did.
No,
you said LA Fitness, bro. Like that's
yeah.
the most
There's not much more you can say,
trying to
brother.
retract my words. I don't like his game. I don't like him. I'm just saying he's better than certain players out there. Sure, he's not dog water.
No,
I don't like him.
It's not that. It's more. I'm just curious how your brain works when it comes to ranking.
He's a 6'1" scoring point guard. Yuck. I don't like it.
He gets buckets,
Yeah, he
though.
gets buckets. And he look what he did for the Knicks, bro. He went there and he built something.
Yeah.
Like,
and the Knicks are garbage.
They were garbage before him, and he goes over there. That's the first. Like, they had all the money in the offseason, goes over there, signed that $100 million contract. People like you were like, oh man, that's whatever. Goes out there, starts hitting shots, starts doing shit, gets the garden going, and then they start making trades, bringing Josh Hart, get Mikal Bridges, DiVincenzo's, and yeah, now they got Cat. Like I was in the same boat maybe when he was playing in Dallas. I was like, okay, like let's see what he can do in New York. But then I've kind of grown to be like appreciate him. Like he doesn't have to be my favorite player, but you can appreciate what he does and how he goes out there and he busts your favorite player's ass. Like, dude, him versus Luca, he was saucing Luca up. That shit was embarrassing to watch, but who doesn't?
And like not only that, but like have you seen how hard the dude plays? Like there was one game, bro. I was like, this guy's ankle has to be broken, bro.
Well, yeah, he plays for Tibbs. He has no choice.
yeah, that too.
You're not getting a break, brother.
That
Sorry.
too. But I was like, man, this dude's ankle is about to fall off, bro, and he's out there hooping, So I think that's why I have a little bit of, a sweet spot for Brunson.
Do you have him or Peyton Pritchard?
Don't be disrespectful.
See,
I'm just kidding.
I'm more like I guess you can maybe call it old school. Like, so from my point guard position, if we're looking like at 25, 26, however old, now he might be like 28 now, but like if we were trying to start a franchise, I don't even like him per se. He's not a favorite of mine, but I would start my franchise with Halliburton over Brunson. Like I like a guy that's gonna spread the
LaMelo
ball
Ball.
around the floor, you know, and make my team. And obviously he makes his team better somehow, whether it's, you know, being the main point scorer or whatever it is that he's doing. But I like, you know, from the point guard position, I want. That's why you asked me the Trae Young. Trae Young's leading the league in assists almost every year right now. So yeah, and he's still putting up 23, 25, 27 points per game averages as well. So yeah, I'll take Trae Young all day.
But what does that lead to? That leads you to 50-50 and not even making the playoffs.
Yeah, no playoff appearances.
They might not have the same setup. Like in 2 years, that setup of youngins that they have could be the same little setup that New York's got. They have to bring
They've been trying to do that for 5 years.
Yeah, they obviously haven't done anything right, but that doesn't mean he's not doing anything right. Like, I don't know.
Oops.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think Brunson will get a ring in the next 5 to 10 years. I say
I mean, they don't have a choice.
It's looking possible for this year, if anything.
Was that that's the last game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so but if I think it's fair enough to say though, if Tatum's
Warriors
out, right? If Tatum's out of this one, Knicks proceed, right? So we're looking at a Knicks versus Pacers potential Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
And then what do you guys think on the West?
I think.
Well, at the time we're recording, we got Minnesota up 15-14 against the Warriors. I would have to go out. I'm going to say Timberwolves just because of Steph's injury. Hamstrings aren't something to play around with. And then I got
Spurs.
Oh, man. I want the Nuggets to win, but I need the Thunder to win so they don't go get Giannis. That's about it for that one.
Nice.
That's how I come it out. Oh, and then I have whoever wins the Nuggets Thunder series is going to end up coming out of the West.
I like that. Yeah, that's fair enough to say.
See, I'm gonna go opposite there. I'm gonna say if the Nuggets take the Thunder to a game 7, and the Timberwolves are able to not handedly get through the Warriors, but because of those injuries, like maybe not even go to 7, possibly only to 6, maybe even 5. If they take down not only the Lakers but the Warriors, they're going to be riding a hot one, and I think they could go in and mess up either the Thunder or the Nuggets, in my opinion.
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go. I don't know. It's just something about the Nuggets team that scares me. Like I want the Thunder to win, but the Nuggets, man, and Jokic. So I'm gonna go with the Nuggets. I agree with you, Joe. Even though I have the bet out there, I think the Wolves are gonna take this one. But I do think the Nuggets go to the finals. And then here I'm gonna go on the East. I go Pacers, of course, versus the Knicks. I'm gonna go Knicks. I'm gonna go Knicks versus Nuggets.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. I think the Knicks actually do have a real chance of getting to the finals. That's awesome, though. Good for them. Good for them. Any final thoughts, fellas?
Yeah, Cooper Flag to the Mavericks.
Oh yeah, Cooper
that's
Flag
crazy.
to the Mavericks.
Rigged.
Conspiracy theories.
Greg.
Let me hear it.
Yeah.
Because I know you have one. What is your conspiracy theory on the Dallas Mavericks getting the number 1 overall pick after trading away Luka Doncic and having a 1.8% chance of getting it?
Same as the Spurs getting Victor when they needed to get Victor, right?
They got number 2, by the way,
and Zion too.
Yeah.
That one year.
Ace fucking Bailey.
I mean, come on now. You got to be a little more subtle than that, NBA. Come on, Adam Silver. Like, they could end it with the 2nd, 3rd pick, got a great prospect, and been just fine. You give them the 1st overall pick to make up for that trade. It shows us that this is literally all set up for entertainment. We're going to get Luke out to the great old LA stage. The Mavericks still have a nice little team set up in place. So then you throw in this potentially, generational prospect in Cooper Flag. We won't speak too much on that because look at what Zion has done. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
So, but let's let's be a little bit more subtle than that. That's my take. Like it's definitely a little bit rigged.
Yeah. Yep. Indeed. What do you think, Tay? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, Coop does seem generational, so I think it's going to be a, entertainment, of course, for next year. Definitely looking forward to the Lakers when they play the Mavs. But what I'm really excited for is to kind of see how deeper into the draft goes. There's some dogs out there that are coming in, so I'm curious to see where people are going to land. But yeah, overall, I think the NBA is spicing it up. Definitely seems a little bit rigged, a little bit weird. But hey, I mean, you got to bring numbers, right? It's entertainment, industry. So I'm for it.
Hell yeah.
So, last little thing I'd say, just while we're on the NBA, because on Sunday maybe we don't touch on NBA at all or something, right? Where's Giannis? Where's Giannis going? I think Giannis is gone, and there's rumors of the Spurs. There's been rumors of the Warriors for the past 5 years.
Like
You had just said
Lakers.
something about OKC. The Lakers will always throw their hat in the ring. Where does he go? What makes the most sense?
It's gonna be Houston, San Antonio, OKC, and that's about it. That's the best offers.
It has to be a trade package, correct?
Yeah.
So if you're the Spurs and you say no to Victor,
Stephon, I wouldn't trade
Stephon Castle, and no to your second overall pick, but everything else is up for grabs, could they put together a good enough package?
I'm trading the second overall pick because they got De'Aaron Fox, and
they got Fox too,
like you can trade the number 2 overall pick, and you might still have Chris Paul. I don't know, he might be a free agent, but you might still have him for like one of these like crazy opt-in trades or whatever. Sign it and trade. Vassell, Sohan, just you name it. Anybody aside from Victor, Castle, and Fox. That's it.
Yeah,
you name your price, and then you throw down your bevy of first-round picks. You already get the number 2 overall, and that's that. Aside from Houston trading, like I said, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, Sengun, and then like a bunch of first-round picks or whatever, pick swaps. Then you just rebuild with Amin Thompson, re-sign Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, and then go from there.
So you'd have Thompson and Giannis, though?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Thompson's still young enough to develop a jump shot.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I'm not. Like, if I'm Giannis, that's not looking that bright at that point.
Appeasing.
They do right now, but you take all 3 of those guys away, including main thing is Sengun.
That probably doesn't. Yeah, you probably can keep Sengun if you just want to get rid of Jalen Green and Jabari Smith and then throw in. They're not trading Thompson. Like I'm telling you, that dude is a monster, dude. That guy, he is athletic as fuck, and if he can just develop a jump shot.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, and I'm chiming in.
I was just gonna say I could see Houston doing like Reed Shepherd, Jalen Green.
Oh yeah, throw Reed Shepherd, Cam Whitmore. There's fucking players on that don't even play.
Okay, yeah, they got people's to where because you got to be able to keep if you're gonna trade Green, you got to keep Whitmore. If you're gonna trade Whitmore, you got to maybe look into keeping Green, but Green is gonna be more expensive, so maybe it's smart. You have Eason, so you can get rid of Smith, so forth. Yeah, no, as long as you don't get rid of Sengun in that deal,
Thompson.
Sengun, Thompson, and then you add in Giannis, yeah, then you fill out the rest however it needs to be filled out after that. But you got to keep those 2.
Yep.
And then what? And then the Warriors don't really have much.
No. We're OKC.
Okay,
that's the one that's scary.
Who would?
I was gonna say.
Hold on, let Tay go.
I was gonna say 1-2 is like. There's a few things that I've been hearing from this. Is like one is
if you pull some Lakers shit.
No, it makes the only reason he will leave, right, is to go seek another championship, right? Like it's do you want another championship, Giannis, or do you want to stay in control where you're at and retire with Milwaukee? If he chooses the path to go win a championship, what is he looking for? He's going to look for the most talent in the next years. He's going to definitely look at a place like Giannis, he's gonna look at a small town, kind of a city that he can go to, and there's only really two that really make sense. I'm gonna say OKC, like we were talking about, and then San Antonio. I think the most team that's championship ready right now that we can see is OKC. I think you pair him with Shy, that'd be great. I would keep Dort just for the defense. Maybe if they could keep Jalen Williams, I believe his name is. He's a dog too. And then give up Chet. I would give up Chet. I would give up some draft picks and see if they could work out a deal there. But I think OKC makes the most sense. I would love to see him with Wemby, like that'd be crazy. Like two freaks on the same team, like that'd be nuts. Like I would want to see that, but I think OKC makes the most sense, and I want him to go to the Lakers though.
Yeah, real quick on the OKC piece. I think realistically, we're thinking like Jalen Williams, Hartenstein, and then maybe like one of these Isaiah Joes, and then first round picks. It's either going to be Williams or Chet. Like because
They
you
got
have
to
to
get Chet.
whatever.
Williams is filthy.
The Bucks will request for Chet and Hartenstein because you can build off that.
Mhm.
You could rebuild right off that with some picks in there. Chet
Maybe
Chet makes
they
sense.
got to deal with Dame though, because Dame still.
That's true. Yeah.
If this all happens hypothetically, he hasn't really requested one, but there was some piece that came out that said he's looking to maybe go to a place with no state income tax. So that like what Miami, Lakers have a high income tax. So
Yeah.
but wherever there's smoke, there's mirrors. So maybe we get like a Toronto deal where they just go in there and just trade like all that. Like the Pelicans would be interesting. Why not? If you're Milwaukee, like you have to think of it like, okay, if you're Milwaukee, are we doing this to rebuild and get the best assets like OKC did?
Right.
Then you're not trading them to where they want to go.
No, I know. So, but with him at this point, like it's going to be a respect thing. They'll get their best capital, but they're going to let him kind of slightly pick out of the 5 teams that have shown the most interest that can put together a package they'd be interested in.
Dude, Detroit, that would be fun.
Like I don't like when I've spoke on it since I can remember the day it happened to a team for a player when the Denver Nuggets when the Knicks put all the chips in for Melo.
Yeah.
I loved what they had going. They had about
Melo was washed though. Melo was washed.
6 foot.
He was still decent.
Sharpshooters, athletic as all get out.
It was like towards the end of it, bro. He did good in like his first couple of years in New York. They were like the 2 or 3 seed.
He wasn't bad, but
he was busting Miami's ass for a little bit.
But compared to Giannis now, I feel like Giannis has more juice right now in his career.
Bro, this is what you guys forget. Mikal Bridges went for fucking 5 firsts.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert went for like 7 picks,
Oh, but when these stars move, though, it goes for whatever they want it to go for. So,
well, I mean, but then Luka just got traded for AD and Max Christie in a pick. So, like, you got like realistically, like that's why I think if we're talking the OKC piece again with their you have to match salaries, and I think Jalen Williams because they have to end up they're going to end up having to pay one of these guys either way, right? And with all these draft picks, like, what are you going to do? Just send everybody to the G League and just have the greatest G League ever because you have fucking 5 first-round picks in there? Like, they need to make a move. Moves are going to happen, and that's why I think this is probably where they're like, this is their make it or break it. Okay, because last year we made it, blah, blah, blah. So if we don't make it this year, then we're going to make a big splash. Then we're going to go try to get a Giannis. Then we're going to go try and get a KD, bring him home.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Stuff like that.
Makes sense.
And honestly, like if you'd get some shellacks if you moved like a Jalen Williams for a 38-year-old Kevin Durant, I feel like. But if you move him in a package for a 31-year-old Giannis, and you're like, if you're keeping a core of Giannis
or Devin Booker.
No, I'm just saying a core of SGA, Chet, and Giannis. I mean, and they still will have picks, so they'll still be able to work their depth and their bench out. Like, yeah, I mean, anybody over there is going to miss Jalen Williams right away, and he may become a superstar.
He's filthy. I think they ship Chet they ship Chet. Chet's shown more signs of weakness than Jalen. Like Jalen, like when SGA was down, bro, like Jalen is the one that like held them up. I don't see Chet doing that.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
okay, that's the same.
That's true.
Okay, so with your mentality is probably how the Bucks are thinking. Like, why we don't want Chet? You know, he's already has a Liz Frank
Yeah,
fracture
that's
his rookie
true.
year. So
That's
like,
true.
you always have to remember, like,
Yeah.
it is okay. Like Giannis, I'm like AD. I'm only going to go to the Lakers. But what the fuck did the Lakers have to give up for him?
Right.
They had to
No,
give up
But if
Lonzo,
OKC
Kuzma,
can
or not
swindle,
Kuzma.
if OKC
Right,
can swindle getting
right.
Chet off, that's
But
who I think they should keep in that core.
well, yeah. I mean,
J-
fuck, dude. Force your way to the Knicks.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Jalen will damn near score 30 points a game if he gets set up as the main
By
piece in that
himself.
trade for the
Yeah.
Bucks. Yeah, and Dame Lillard will force his way out. They'll be
Maybe.
an awful team next year.
See, you don't think my thing is with the team like OKC, it's like, okay, it's super tough to like know what Jalen will be on his own, because you're kind of pretty optimistic. You were optimistic about Brandon Ingram for the longest time as well. Like it's the same type of deal, and then he went to the Pelicans and never really became like that guy. It's the same type of deal when you play alongside with like somebody as talented as SGA. You know, like
Yeah.
the reason why he is able to showcase what he does is because of how good and how much attention SGA draws. So like if he goes to Milwaukee, or it'll just be him, and maybe like you got Dame Lillard coming in every now and then with one leg, shooting threes or whatever. Like it's gonna be pretty tough when you're the only guy every night, and defenses could lock in on you and do it. But it is regular season. Obviously, if he goes to Milwaukee, they're full on rebuild. But that's just something to keep in mind. You know, like I feel like that's why Tay, back to the conversation of the trade pieces. I just feel like if I'm OKC, I wouldn't be. I don't know. I have more faith in Chet, who's actually starting to play pretty well. Look what he's doing against Jokic. You know.
Yeah.
Like, so,
Defensive side. Yeah. If you want to, it depends what style you want. If you want
but he
that
could
big
also
plug,
stretch the floor. And then,
Yeah, he can.
but you have, because you have Giannis. That doesn't matter with the scoring side. You have Giannis. Like Giannis
Yeah,
is gonna
but-
give you fucking 40 and fucking 30 or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't want him to go there. Please don't go there.
So they'll get over it, right? Like,
No.
but I mean, so
Oh,
these
Dallas?
boys in OKC, like part of their come up over the last 2-3 years is how
core.
Fucking being corny AAU shit.
Hey, it's how close and the chemistry those 3 or 4
that
have.
core.
So you
Oh.
break that up, you're getting rid of one of those core main pieces, whether it's Chet or Jalen. You break that up. Does that have a reverse effect? Yeah, you're going to be more talented. Does it have a reverse effect? And it does. It probably will.
That is true.
But
We've
it's
seen that happen at multiple
Oh,
organizations.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Definitely.
But okay,
But do you pass on that generational talent like a Giannis?
exactly,
Too?
because
It's like
this
hard.
This is like the trust the process shit, right? Like, like for the longest time it was trust the process, and then they did it. They built it through the draft, and it just didn't end up working out. Luckily for the Thunder, it's working out. But if I'm not mistaken, for a brief sliver in our timeline, the Sixers were good. Ben Simmons was driving down the lane, doing layups, and he was dunking. He was doing
Embiid.
But there was this, and then something happened, right? That's what the Thunder need to avoid, is because they're coming into with their low key. Chet Holmgren could be as injury prone as Embiid, maybe a little bit less, but it's just you want to avoid the Sam Presti's miles ahead, right? He's GM, sees everything, whatever you want to call it. So I'm pretty sure he sees, okay, if we lose this round, or if we lose this year, like how much better can we get as a unit? Like with
Not
extensions
much.
looming and all this stuff, you got cap space to worry about. Yeah. I don't know, fellas.
Yeah.
Anybody got
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say what do you think about, I don't know, Cleveland? I need Cleveland. I'm trading Garland, Hunter, Jared Allen. Like fuck. 3-1.
It's sad, man. Like, especially watching them like during the season, like you're like, oh yeah, these guys for sure are making the Eastern Conference Finals, like without a doubt.
Yeah.
Like especially how weak the East is. So I don't know. It's interesting. I would like to see them at least keep Mobley and Donovan. Yeah, I think you ship out Garland. And then everybody else. I think you could get some good pieces for Garland. But yeah, I think you gotta keep Donovan and you gotta keep Mobley. Those are definitely their stars in my eyes.
And we got any last thoughts on the NBA playoffs before we go? All right, you guys. That concludes this episode. We will be back on Sunday. Do. Have a good one. Thank you as always. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we have a 35-30 ball game. Timberwolves are up.
Yeah.
All right, guys. See ya.
Peace. Have a good night.